Woohoo! That was fun.
Hey,
Hey.
hey. What's going
I don't
on,
know why I said it
everybody?
like that. Another fun Sunday, right?
Yep, another Sunday.
We're stuck holding down the fort while everybody else is out partying.
Yeah, everyone else is partying but us.
Nah, I'm okay. I seen what they partied with. I'm all right.
It does look like they're having a pretty good time, though, based off the
Yes,
pictures
it
they've been
does.
posting.
Yep, they've been doing those photo dumps, but it's like I had a choice. I can either go to Mineola in 2 weeks or I go down there for that for one day. Yeah, I'm going to
Hmm.
Mineola. Sorry, guys. I'm on the paranormal side on that one. So, but anyway, did you do a show last night? I went to look and I don't even notice. Didn't even notice if you had one or not.
I did do a show last night.
You
It was
did?
about
It,
Bigfoot nerds. It was one
yeah,
of
it
my more
never.
forgettable ones. It was kind of a filler episode, if I'm to
Well,
be
normally it
honest.
comes across. It tells me when you go live or something, but it never even came across, and that's why I was wondering.
Hmm.
I never really went and looked. So I literally was sitting in the bedroom in there watching stupid stuff. I don't even. What was I watching? Golly, there was a. Suits L.A. I'm sorry, I was catching up with Suits L.A. I don't know why
Hmm.
I'm watching it. I have no earthly idea because it's not near as good as the first one, but I'm watching it anyway. So
Hmm.
it is what it is. So well, I guess since Brandy's away, we get to play. We're going to see what Bigfoot looks like, and we're going to probably talk about a little bit of pro wrestling because y'all guys know us. We're going to talk pro wrestling if we get a chance. All right,
We do love
like
ourselves some pro wrestling, that's for sure.
yeah, it's not sports entertainment; it's pro wrestling. Okay, so but anyway, yeah,
And
that's
watch half the chat just checks out. They're like, okay, never mind, I'm out.
yeah, we're done with these
Yeah,
stupid. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I mean, we have to deal with it. So,
it is what it is, baby.
huh. So I'm going to bring up one. We're going to look at the first one that we got. Like I said, I got a few Bigfoot ones out here for this one. And some of them we've seen, some of them we haven't. Everybody's seen the Memorial Day stuff. Everybody's seen the Freeman footage. I This one, the one I got from Provo Canyon. Now this was in 2012, and I've seen it out there a few times, but I never really look at the video real close. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna bring up the video and we're gonna look at this one, see if you can hear it and everything like everybody else did when I was listening to it anyway. And once my computer catches up here, all right, so stop, get back. All right, we'll get to start. All right, so I'm gonna share this real quick. Share screen, entire screen, that one, and make sure the audio is going so y'all can hear it. All right, so here we
Okay.
go with this.
Yeah, can't see.
There's definitely something back there.
Yeah, you can see it moving, right?
Yeah.
You hear him talking a little bit.
Yeah, we probably should be too close to it. Huh? Oh, cool though. Let's go.
Oh, that's the time you choose to run away? Thanks a lot, dude.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this
Right
is the
when we're
part that
about
I
to get a
didn't.
clear image, this guy books it.
Yeah,
Damn it, that's so
and he takes off.
frustrating.
So that's why I got the download
Takes
so I can
off.
get it to where it does this. I hope.
That dude needed to stand his ground, take one for the
Well,
team.
exactly. I mean, what
Damn,
the
why did he
heck? What
have
do
to
you?
like just jump? That thing gets to stand up and then he turns around and runs. Then why do you take out his camera in the first place, man? Damn.
Exactly. What's the point? You know what I mean? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. This was one of those. I was like, now I'm going to drop it to a quarter speed on this now. And when we do this, when it stands up, let's see if we can see any real movement. Okay. I don't know about anybody else. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think I've ever saw a bear stand up like that. First of all, This thing's massive.
Yeah.
Look at the width on that back, because I'm assuming it's looking up the hill.
See, at first I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know, that could be a bear. But then it was
Yeah.
getting to stand up, and that silhouette, that outline was starting to look a lot more humanoid in appearance. But then my man turns around and starts running away.
Yeah, if he'd have stayed there, I think the thing would have gone up the hill, and he'd have been able to get more frame
just
of it.
Stayed there for another second. Yeah.
But how would anybody else react in this situation, though? Yeah, I like what Kimber said on that one. Yeah, his follow through sucks because he ain't being brave. Now, but like I said, this was a couple of young hikers. These are young kids. Let me see if I can find my little write up on it real quick. But they're a group of siblings that were hiking in Provo Canyon and thought they'd spotted a bear in the woods and started filming it. And the creature stood up on two legs. They ran abruptly, ending the shaky video. A year later, the siblings launched a Kickstarter campaign to investigate other Utah Bigfoot sightings. And, people don't think about Utah, but Utah's got a history of, Bigfoot sightings too. Val, you're right. Run. And that's exactly what he did. He ran because he was not prepared for that. We're going to back it up again and watch that thing stand up. And this is at quarter speed. And it just rises. And that's where he takes off right there. I mean, come on. The wrong time, honestly, to run right there. Because, like I said, I don't think it was
raise money for more Bigfoot research.
Someone he just killed
if he's actually going to, are you sure you're not going to run away next time you see something?
Yeah. Yeah, Gary, I agree with you. If it was dealing with a predator, I'd say don't run. But, that thing, the way it looked, the way it was standing up, I think it was going up the hill. I think it was just moving out of the area. I don't think it was preying on it. I think it was probably down there just kind of hunkering down, watching. And then they decided, okay, I'm not sticking around with these idiots no more, so I'm gone. But just the size of that thing, though. We'll pull it back one more time. See, because you can see the head movement here in just a second, too. Playing at quarter speed again. And watch the head movement. It's not even paying attention to them, I don't think.
Too close to it.
And it stands up. Boom. I mean, that goes from that small bit that you see to that.
Yeah.
That's a big change. Yeah. Nemo had bear, holy crap, run. Now, there was another one that I didn't bring it on here because I think it's been proven to be a hoax, but there was one with a couple of bow hunters up in Idaho that had quote unquote seen one, and the guy said that he saw this bear outside, and so the guy went to raise his bow to get it, and when he raised his bow, the thing walked away. 100% just walked away as fast as it could. And he went and grabbed he threw down the bow, which was dumb to me in the first place, threw down the bow, grabbed the camera from the guy, and went chasing after the thing. And when you look at the thing in high def and in slow motion, it really looks like somebody in a suit just standing there and looking away and walking away. It just wasn't very good. So, but with this one, there's nothing that I can see that would say that this is anybody in a suit either.
It's hard to say what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks humanoid.
Yeah.
But there's so many trees in the way.
Yeah, just too much away.
Yeah.
But a bear would not stand up like that. That looks like somebody coming out of the crouch position almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they beelined it. They were gone, so. I don't know what to think about it. What do y'all think? I mean, you saw one with a guy in a parka? That's what Gary says. He saw one with a guy in a parka yesterday. But, there's so many of those out there. Like there's one that's called a Me and Brandy did it on here. It's called the Independence Day footage. That's the one with the one that goes by the rocks and stuff. It picks up the little one and shuffles away or whatever.
Yeah.
And we both sat there and we're like, yeah, nah. You could see the bottom of the daggum parka of the person that's carrying. And you, if you slow it down enough, you can actually see a cap. So, but we're going to leave this one as a, I think I like this one. I really do. So.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just annoying that the guy just ran away at the right moment, you know? Right when we're about to see it. That's so annoying.
It hurts. It hurts almost, you know what I mean? Because, you know, all the ones I go through and deal with on this thing, you know, I'm like, every single one of them, and every single one of them, all have a, how can I put it? They all have that same quality. Every single one of them. There's something shaky. There's somebody jumping around. There's something, and like the one I talked to you about off in the studio earlier, off camera. The one that they took, and this was in, I forget which mountain range it was, supposedly zooming in through a viewfinder, through a telescope, 3 miles away to this thing, and it's booking. I mean, don't get me wrong. The side of the mountain, there's nothing that goes across the side of the mountain. But you also, if you see something that big going across the side of a mountain, usually we'll see some sort of snow being knocked down or something being pushed down. You know, you see something other than just a black figure going across. But that one was so shaky. I got seasick trying to watch it. That's how bad it was. It was, it was not fun. So that's why I didn't put that one up here. I can get it up here. That's no problem. That's easy. But
okay.
I'll have to find it again because I didn't delete that one.
No, it's fine.
I didn't download it. That's what. I'll show it to you later, and you can see what I'm talking about. So I'll show it to you off air, so that way we don't get dinged either. But if I can, I'll get it downloaded. Okay. We'll put it on a different show later on too. So, but as we continue on in this perilous journey, we're going to go to another one now, and everybody knows this one. This is the Freeman footage, and this guy, I've always liked this footage. I know some people don't like it per se. The reason I like it is because Paul Freeman never tried to capitalize on it. You know what I mean? He got paid one time for one interview, and that's the only thing he ever did. And from what I understand, his wife just, when he passed away, she disappeared. So she didn't want nobody talking to her about it. And I don't blame her. I mean, because they were probably bugging the ever loving you know what out of her. But he stood by his story the whole time. And, you know, this is another one of those that it's really a great, to me, it's a great catch all the way around. So we'll get this one up and see what you guys think about this one. Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes. Jesus. Get up here where I can see real quick. Get up here. Get a better picture. Now, at the end of that one, that wasn't the full version. At the end of it, he starts wondering about where they went because he thought he might have actually saw a second one involved in it as well. Now, on this one, I don't know what anybody else. Yeah, and Gary you're right.
They couldn't debunk this one.
And I could not, for the love of me, you know, I mean, honestly, we're looking right here. I'm going to slow it down to 25% again.
Yeah.
You want to go full speed? You want 25?
Let's go to 25.
Okay, I'm going to back it up to.
Actually, let's go once full speed, and then let's go back to that 25.
Okay, all right, we're going one whole one full speed again.
Yeah.
Let me know if everybody can hear it. Okay.
Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes. Jesus.
Okay.
At least he kept a camera on it and didn't run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there it goes. Okay, now I'm gonna pause this real quick because Bristol brought something up right here, and I haven't seen the cleaned up version of this, obviously, because I like keeping it as real as I can, but I didn't know that there might have been picking up a baby there because the only one I ever saw one picking up a baby was what I was talking about with that Independence Day footage. So I'm gonna back this up again right here to where. Right about here when you're talking about it. It's going to be full speed again. Okay, so there it is. And look back, and he loses a little bit right there. He's trying to get a little bit better shot. And it's still right here in the middle. And then it just kept moving. I didn't see a second one, but like I said, I would love to have seen. I got to find that good or upgraded version / cleaned up version.
Better picture.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Paul Freeman, because I remember talking about this on there, Paul Freeman was a forestry service or a park ranger for a lot of his time in Washington. And
you looked into the guy?
Oh yeah, I looked into him. And he died of emphysema probably 2001, 2004, that time frame, if I'm not mistaken. May have been earlier than that. But because, like I said, when we covered this on the show before, I went on a deep dive with this guy. He was probably one of the more upstanding individuals that ever brought any of this to light. You know what I mean? Any of his footage, and he was actively looking for him. He tracked this one to this point. So,
and he worked in the forestry service.
And he worked in the forestry service / park ranger, I should say. So he knows that land up there. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's other parts of this video where he actually takes pictures of the actual.
I hear the brush popping and stuff.
You hear him talking about the brush popping and everything, right? But there's one part of it earlier on where he's taking a picture of the footprints he'd found while he was tracking the thing. Now, this one obviously is cut down a little bit. Thanks to the TikTok and Paranormal Highway for having it out there for us. But
there you go.
See, and he saw him go there, and that's when he acknowledged him, you know? Now, we stop right there and look at where it's turning around, kind of looking at him, right? And then it looks back down to seeing where it's stepping. Now, when he puts down, are y'all saying that this back here, or is this a shadow, or is this another one back here following it? Or did it pick, you're saying it picked one up, right?
Jesus.
Okay, so I see it kind of move its head right there, but I can't tell what it's doing. This obviously is not, because it did not move at all. We talk about this right here, as far as it looks like a shadow to me right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to slow this down, see if I can see what.
Gary says, when he raises the camera, look behind a white tree.
Okay, so I'm going to bring it back here. A little slow. You talking about right here? Okay, I see what you're talking about. See it move? I saw the head move right there. I took that for being a shadow, is what I took it for. And I'm trying to see he moves further, and that one never moves though. Oh, maybe it did. I wish he hadn't moved right then, because if he kept right there, we'd have been able to see if that what I'm calling a shadow actually moved or not. I'll see if I can get it to, because when you, like he says, when you first bring it up, brings up the actual camera. It looks like that one. See, it looks like its head turns, but that could be a play of light too, and this could still be a shadow. See if I can bring this back again. because it never moves after that. Other than with his movement right there, it never moves. That's it. I just don't know if that is the second one. I mean, it looks like the head moves when he lifts the camera up. Don't you love the slow motion sound too that goes with this?
Yeah, I love that.
When he raised it up back here, we'll back it up one more time. But when he raises it up, and you talk about that spot right there, is what I'm assuming Gary's talking about right here. When he first raises it up, it looks like the head is moving, turns in, out, turns, and that's it. But it never moves again once he steadies the camera. That makes me think it's more of a shadow. And it doesn't move at all when the other one walks past it. Yeah, Keith, I'm with you. This is something to see something this size in the woods. It's got to send your adrenaline insane. Now, I saw something that time when it walks by, and once again, he drops it too soon for me to see it actually move. It makes me think that there's more of that shadow there than what's there. So I'm not for sure on it. That's all I can say. Yeah, and that's what I was looking at. Gary, it looked like right as he started to go, it looked like it might have been more of that torso showing, and it turned with him. But it could also be the fact that he's dropping the camera and moving the camera at the exact same time too. So while I do believe there probably is two there, I can't say that was it per se. So, but this is still one of the best footages out there. I mean, this is probably when people talk about this is up there with Patterson with Patterson Gimlin. You know, this is probably the only one that's been up there with them that hasn't been able to be debunked. Nobody could tell it one way or the other. And you know, what do you tell people? Hey, it's fake, it's real, it's fake, it's real. Maybe not. You can't tell for sure. Now I'm gonna see if this will let me move this over, and that probably won't. I'm gonna have to come out of this one now, but I got a picture as well. Let me see if I can do this here. We are going to share a window if I can get it to come up. Come on, fat fingers, work here. I see now I'm channeling text. Can't help it.
Is he making your fingers fatter?
All right, now this one, I think so. I think it's a default thing going on here.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is one of the stills from the Freeman. Yeah.
All right.
And I'm channeling because I get the brain fart going, and I'm sitting there going, I can't get my daggum words from here to here, but that may be just me just having a stroke. I don't know. But anyway, so this is from the original. Now you look when this is how bad the film really was. You know, of course you're talking 94. They didn't have real high def stuff. You know. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Keith. I mean, not everything out in the woods, just because it snaps or is a shadow, is a Bigfoot. Now we're going to say that's a Bigfoot because it's blurry. If it wasn't blurry, I would say it's not a Bigfoot, but it's got to be blurry. And where's Nemo? Nemo, I need my red circle right now. Okay. Okay, looking at the very right of the pic. Okay, where are we looking at there, Gary? Because I'm seeing the main one right here. Is there another one over here that I cannot make out? Because honestly, I can't make anything out. I don't know. This shouldn't be it right here. Now, there's that same shadow though that we were talking about before. Yeah, this stump over here. Yeah, and I don't know. It's a stump to me because it never moved that I know that I saw. But that shadow we were talking about over here is already over here. See it?
Hmm.
Now, did it change an angle when he dropped the camera and moved? Did it change an angle where we couldn't see this thing, the whole way? But it's there, obviously, still before. I'm not saying there's not one out there, but I think there's a lot more shadow play going on here than what is given credit for. And this I'm kind of with you, Gary. This stump over here has a different color about it. It looks like it doesn't belong there. But like I said, I can't say it's anything but a stump. Okay, I see what you're saying. Gary's saying here, it says right here, in this shot, you can see part of the head and the shoulder. And I'm assuming of the one that's down by the white tree, the lighted tree up here. I'm assuming that's
On the
what
left
Gary's
side?
talking about. This one over here.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
need
think-
red circles, guys.
I'm telling you. Red circle will
Keith
make it
says
all
the guy's
easier.
reaction to video. I'm assuming it was his first rodeo. Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed about the guy's reaction. It was very, like low key, kind of very just matter of fact.
He kept his
there's
wits
Bigfoot.
about him.
Yeah,
He kept his wits about him because he'd already
didn't
had
freak out.
experiences before. He had experiences. He was doing what Patterson was. He was actively searching for a Bigfoot.
right.
So, I mean, obviously the thing's 40, 50 yards away from him at least. So he's not going to freak out at that either. But the man, it would have made no difference. He was, probably in the 250 range, 250 to 270 range. He wasn't going to run away from him to start with. You hear how winded he was in the video to start with. So he wasn't just going to come out running and go after it or it coming after him. I don't think he would have really fought a whole lot. So, but anyway, so still one of the better ones to this day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to move to the Marble Mountain one. I couldn't get the video on this. I kept looking for the video on this one. I could never find the video. I'm going to find it. I'm going to put it up here one of these days when I can find it. But the Marble Mountain, this one was a young group that was camping in the Marble Mountains wilderness in California when Jim Mills, the leader of the group, noticed a strange-looking creature skulking along a ridge nearby. He filmed it for several minutes, supposedly, making the somewhat grainy footage the longest video of an alleged Bigfoot. Okay. Now, I tried to find it. I went searching everywhere for it, and I could not find it other than, I think I found one on YouTube. Let's see. I'm going to look up real quick just so I can tell you.
Gary says, I can see the bottom of the coat hanging on the back.
Yeah, that was one of the ones. I think we did this one here too. And, there's several people say it's a genuine video. The guy they said it's a genuine video, but my biggest issue is, once again, he's either got a crappy butt or he got back.
He got a badonkadonk. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got that badonkadonk.
That looks like a backpacker. Coat, backpack, whatever you want. Tall person backpack.
Maybe that's what Bigfoot's booty looks like. It's all angular.
Let's see.
You got an angular butt.
I don't want to be close enough to find out. Period. No.
That's a Donny Cho Says Stuff topic, actually.
Exactly. That you need to get that one going. I'll give you this picture. You can work with it, okay? But yeah, that one. I think me and Brandy both came to the point of we were probably tinfoil in this, but we were on the fence as well because it is a good distance away, and this is one of the best pictures you have of it throughout the entire walk across the ridge, from the way I understood it. And you talk about several minutes of doing this thing, and this is all I could find. Now, there's some, like I said, there's some out there that are 13, but they're all looking at it. I mean, I want the actual footage. So, you know what? Hang on a second. While we go to the next one, I'm going to work on getting this downloaded. So I'll give y'all a heads up on that here in a few. Actually, I'm looking at it now. They stabilized it. No, it still looks like a backpacker. It doesn't look like.
It looks like just a regular dude, a backpacker.
Yeah, it looks like a regular dude up there on the ridge. I mean, it turns and it's quite frankly, it's so. It might even be a woman. Okay, that's how bad these people tried to stabilize it and everything, and it's literally the frame is all over the place, and it's like you see how it's stepping here, right? I'm going to minimize this one and bring this back up, but you see how it looks like it's kind of stepping right here. During this video, it's like somebody trying not to slip going down a hill, and they're purposely taking those little short heel first steps. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even at one point, you see the arms kind of go out like that, almost like there's a lady trying to stop herself from falling over one way or the other. That kind of deal. Yeah, and there's another thing here, right here. We're looking at something could be a dog in front of it. You know what I mean? So once again, this one's one we pretty much kind of take away from. We don't deal with it. So since I haven't put it on yet today, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now we're getting into the 30-35 minute range. I'm not going to put the Memorial Day footage up there. Actually, you know what? I am. Because I have argued this one 100 times. Because I don't believe it to be real. But that's just me. So let me get this one brought up here. As soon as my illustrious Windows media player goes like it's supposed to go. All right, we're going to share the screen. I'm going to do it again so you guys can hear the music playing behind it. And once again, we're dealing with TikTok videos for the most part because that's the easiest way to find half of this stuff. But obviously, this is 1996, okay? So once again, we don't have some of the greatest footage ever, but it's still better than nothing. So here we go. Now, what are your thoughts on that one?
Man,
Gary, I can't retire this one yet, Gary. Sorry, I just can't retire it quite yet. Yeah, it could have been anything, right?
That could have been anything.
Now, there was a couple of them, and I think Monster Quest actually took this on and actually had a stunt double, run across there trying to recreate it, and they sufficiently recreated it to where it could have been a person going across. Now, do I think these people put somebody out there to do that? No, I don't think they did at all. But as you're looking here, you can see this thing, and I'm going to slow it down as it goes across this middle part here to the quarter. You see how that thing is going across there. I don't think it's as big as they think it is, first of all. But you do have the rise. I mean, it's moving kind of quick, but it's been recreated. If it's been recreated, I don't know. And why would a Bigfoot go across that? You know what I mean? At that particular moment. What's the point of it? Now, see, they fumbled with it and then brought it back up, but you never see them actually bring it back up. It's like it cuts and then goes back to the video. I'm muting this one. That's annoying. But you see, it's slowed down a lot once it got over here to this side.
I got a full screen this. Yeah, it's a dot in the distance. I mean, it's obviously moving too fast to be a person, but it could be like
They'd have to be at a full sprint, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's no way to tell what it really is. And once again, it gets to here.
I can't even tell what shape it is.
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
there's a few stills that they got from it. Now, once again, this ain't exactly the best version. It's a TikTok video, so forth, so on. Okay. But when we get back to full speed and we get to this area where he's over here, you saw how fast he was going until he got to this point. Now, everything just slowed down. He just like started walking. Most animals ain't gonna just start walking right there. They're gonna stay and keep full pace until they get to the wood line. So I still, to this day, I still don't like to do this. Yeah, now Roger, there was one set of people that did it, that they got a professional track guy or a professional stuntman to do it. And he could not recreate it completely because of the bog that was in the area at that time. It was wet and he couldn't make the footsteps. But as far as I can't remember if it was Monster Quest, but there was another one that did it with a lankier guy, a runner, and he was able to recreate it. Now, once again, I can't say yes or no because it's too far away. We just can't tell. You know, we really can't. I guess I should take that off to make y'all think. I'm not saying that it's tinfoil per se, but it leans that way to me because I just never have believed in this one. I just, for whatever reason, it don't pass the smell test to me. So now I do have, let me pull this one down real quick because I do have an actual still from it as well. Get that back up where it belongs there. Okay, this still, now this is one of the crappiest stills I've ever seen in my life, but I'm going to do it anyway so I could actually zoom in on it. And as you can see, at one of the points, you can see the spread leg where it's running / walking.
Okay, yeah.
And judging from that, it's running. That looks like a stride of a run, you know? Yeah, that's it, Ristle. Factor Faked, I think, was the one I was thinking about. But I honestly, I'm up in the air. It doesn't pass the smell test to me, and I don't personally believe it is. But could it be? Yeah, it could be. That's all I can say is it could be. So, what's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same mindset. It's too hard it's too inconclusive. Too far away. But I mean, that is clearly a humanoid figure running with that still.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah,
there is no doubt on that one. I agree with you on that. It is either a Bigfoot or it's a bigger man, but an athletic bigger man. Like I said, my biggest issue is the fact when it gets to the other side, it slows down almost like it thinks it's out of camera range already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which doesn't make no sense for an animal. So that's just personal opinion, and we'll go with it like that because now I've got one I got from Facebook. All right. This one was just submitted, and all it said was, is it a Bigfoot or a lone coyote? And this is from Southeast Texas, okay? So I'm thinking big thicket area is what I'm thinking. But as I bring that one down, I'm going to share this one. I want y'all to hear the sound that is made with this, and you'll be able to see the raccoon on the tree behind it, and Gary will be able to tell a little bit, and I think anybody that's been out in the woods at all should be able to tell me whether or not they think it's a coyote or they think it's something else. But I want y'all to hear this one. So no video, no visuals, just the audio. And as you can see, from September 29th of 24. Did you hear it?
I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything?
No.
Oh, you know what?
Try
I
it
didn't
one
hit the
more
right. Hang on. I'm gonna have to stop sharing and reshare because I think I didn't click for it to send the audio as well. Yeah, that's the bad thing about this. If you don't tell it to share the audio, you're not going to hear it on y'all's end. So let's try this again. All right.
All right.
Y'all ready? Here we go one more time.
All right.
Did you hear it that time?
Yeah, I heard it that time. That's a coyote, I think, right?
It sounds like a coyote. Now, Judy, that's a raccoon up there. But you can hear the raccoon's nails as it goes up. I want to know if anybody else thinks it's a coyote or if they think it's something else because it sounds to me like a coyote as well. Yeah. So let's do it one more time. Now, they're at the end. This is what I'm thinking. I think it's a person out there screwing with somebody. Because listen at the end to the way it trills off versus the way a coyote would drill off. See? Did you hear that?
It just stops abruptly, doesn't it?
The way it ended is woo. Woo. Like not like a coyote would kind of trail out, you know what I mean? Kind of go out a little bit. What? And Gary, like I said, Gary's one of the ones I know out there that's been and has heard this a lot. So one more time. Yeah, the way it ends is what's got me. That's my biggest issue. Yeah, I'm with you. He moved when he heard it start there, Nemo. But okay, if they don't always trill at the end, all the ones I've ever heard have always trilled at the end. It sounded like a guy doing a whoop or a howl and finishing it off. A lot of times when you hear it, could be a Bigfoot researcher, but I don't know, John, if there's anybody out there actively doing it right then. They didn't say one way or the other. I literally just found this. Is like, this is all I know. Southeast Texas, is it a Bigfoot or a lone coyote? We're all leaning young coyote or maybe a wolf, but there's not a whole. I don't know how many wolves are really down in the big thicket area, so I'm not for sure.
John says could be a Bigfoot researcher making that noise.
Yeah. Yep.
Little Twisted says coyotes range up and down. Judy Davis says, thanks. My picture is small, but I heard the call doesn't sound much like a coyote. We have lots of them here. Yeah,
and that's Judy. That's why I was saying I didn't recognize the coyote because of the way mainly because of the way it ended. But all the ones I hear usually are more of instead of a howl like that, they're more of yelping, and they're of course I also deal with them in packs. I don't deal with them as alone. I've never.
He thinks it could be a young wolf instead.
Yeah, could be a young wolf, but once again, I don't know how many wolves are actually in that area. So, Twisted says it's not a coyote. Gary thinks it's a coyote, and I'm on the fence on either one because I've heard some coyotes that sound like that, but like I said, most of them, it's not just a whole lot of long howl. It's yipping, a lot of yipping. I don't know how else to put it. And Gary put money on the coyote, and it's very feasible. Very, very feasible. It's a coyote, a lone coyote or something. Twisted doesn't seem to think it's a lone wolf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put this through something like the Google sound thing. You know how you do the thing where you could actually take a picture and it'll tell you what it is?
Yeah.
I think there's one out there for sounds as well, but I'm going to have to find it and see if I can look at it like that. Yeah. See, that's what I was saying with Keith. Like I was saying, they don't sound, the ones I dealt with don't sound a whole lot like that. I've heard some that do, but the ones I'm mostly around don't. But, and Gary's had him do it in his yard. So this one's got me perplexed because there's all sorts of ways to go with this. And none of them are wrong. None of them is bad or anything like that. But there's all sorts of ways to go with this. So I tend to lean toward it's a human out there, honestly. That's what I hear. Is I hear a human out there just doing a whoop or a howl. Only because of how it ended.
I think if it's not a coyote, it's an animal that sounds like it.
Or is mimicking.
Or like maybe a dog.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a stray dog out there too.
Yeah.
So, Kimber says it sounds like what you heard yesterday. Well, I don't help you on that one. And Gary's too sharp to be human. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I fully understand what you're saying. So I like I said, I am at a loss because I don't know. Not on this one anyway, because like I said, first of all, I'm not an expert in every cry. Because,
Play it one more time for me real quick.
One more time?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
At first, I was wondering what if it's like a bird or something. And then when I heard it again, I was thinking maybe it was like a police car in the distance. But the way it ended, the police car's not going to sound like that. Yeah, it almost sounded like a siren.
Keith, I don't know if the coon would have actually reacted to a human call. I think it's if it reacted at all, because it didn't react startled. It just went further up the tree. So I don't know if it actually. I don't know if it actually felt a threat from it, because once it started, we'll do it again one more time just so we can see it. And see, it's a half second into the howl before it starts to react.
Yeah.
So my bet is it's not thinking of this as a threat. This call is not a threat to it, and it stays up there. So I wish I could have got more video, but you know as well as I do, these trail cam things, you got about 15 seconds of video is about all you're going to get anyway. But
right, true that.
Personal opinion, I can't say. I can't say coyote. I could say coyote. I could say mimic. I could say lone wolf. It could be any one of them, because the minute you say that that's definitely something like a coyote, the coyote will be wrong. And you say it's definitely a wolf, and it'll be a coyote, you know? So, yeah, and several now, like I said, Gary's heard them talk like that or howl like that before. I have not. So that's something I would love to have heard at one time or another, because I knew how to tell when a coyote pack was coming to us. So, especially out in the field in El Paso, they're just, you knew exactly when the coyotes were coming around and you need to get ready for them. So, but anyway, we're going to be on the fence on this one. So, all right. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing that one now. And this one is the one I was going to take y'all to the Facebook side on this one. So, and once I get it out of the way, we're going to Facebook on this one. So let me present the screen, because this one we're going to share the Facebook screen. There we go. We got that. And now I'm going to read to you what was said. Okay. This was the post. It says, my dad and I are skeptics when it came to Bigfoot until today. While up in the hills near Wenatchee, which is in Washington State, came across tracks that left no doubt in his mind. Each stride measured nearly 7 foot apart, heading uphill through steep, snowy terrain. The tracks were pressed about 2 feet into the snow. My dad is no stranger to the woods, and he spent years navigating those hills, identifying all types of tracks and different animals. But these were different. The tracks were fresh in untouched snow in a place where no snowmobiles or people had been. They were massive, unmistakably Bigfoot, and clearly made by something running uphill. This changed everything for them. And then, of course, he goes into his comments on this one and actually explains where on the hill they're at on the hillside and how to get to the spot. I didn't want to put that out there because I don't want people, go crazy on it or anything like that. But this is one of the actual footprints he took a picture of down into it. Okay. Now here's a video.
This sounds crazy, but these are 6-foot strides, right and left foot.
Can you guys hear him?
And they go all the way. Here's my footprints next to them. There's my footprints. This ain't elk.
Okay, so y'all heard him saying 6-foot strides. He put his footprint next to it. This is a guy that knows that land like it's the back of his hand, you know? So this is the one where he got out and investigated. Now the next one.
Holy crap. You know what that is, don't you?
Damn.
Look at the stride on these footprints. Straight down the mountainside.
Now, what are your thoughts on that one? Because this one, I saw it. I've been trying to get this thing up for several weeks. Actually, I wanted to use it, but we kept running out of time, so I figured I'd save it for last today. Now, there's a couple more where he takes the pictures, okay? And going down the hill. Or he's saying it's coming up the hill now. They know the area. They know there's been no snowmobiles. There's been nobody in that area hiking. What do you have here? This is in Wenatchee, Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I know this sounds crazy.
I'm going to get it back to that one's just one of the deep ones, you know? I mean, because that's why it makes me think it's in a glacier almost. So, and I'm not going to play the videos again, guys. I just want to get to where the tracks are at. I don't know what to say on it.
I mean, unless he made those tracks himself, I'm thinking that, well, then there would be his tracks. No, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, well, now.
Yeah, that's looking good. I'm liking that one. That one's looking good.
Yeah, because let's go back to this one, the first one where he's tracking.
I know this sounds crazy.
You see where
these are 6-foot strides.
When he pans
right
back.
And left foot, and they go all the way.
You saw his snowmobile track.
My footprints next to him.
And he's putting his footprint next to it to show.
There's my footprints.
And it's definitely going up the mountain. See how it's kicking out behind it?
Elk.
Yeah.
So this guy, the kid that posted his name, Levi Brewer. I want to make sure I give that shout out just in case. But him and his dad found these. And you're talking about guys that know this area. There's no other tracks on that entire mountain, it doesn't look like.
Holy crap.
I mean, if it would have been elk, there wouldn't have just been one set, most likely. And I don't know anybody that's gone after elk. Don't elk make a different foot pattern than that? Because Nemo's, hey, to make them that straight, you got to swivel the hips to get them straight. So,
yeah, no, I think whatever left those tracks was clearly bipedal.
Yeah. And I've heard people talk about this could be bear. Okay, yeah, well, if it's a bear, there'd be some other sign than just those prints, because 7 feet apart, yeah, I don't think so. 6 to 7 feet apart, their stride's going to be a lot closer than that, I would have thought. What do you guys think out there? Yeah, Gary, I thought moose as well, but even a moose, I don't think their stride's going to be that far apart. Because, like Gary said, the only other thing it could be is a moose. And I don't know if moose is really going to go that far above the wetlands in the first place. And like I said, I don't know how many are actually in that area of Washington to start with. So, yeah, and I'm with you. It doesn't look like a moose track. If I'm not mistaken, they're kind of like whitetails. You know, they don't go in front of each other. They're kind of a offshoot where they're off a little bit in their patterns, and their yeah. Hey, Moon, what's going on? So, this one had me stumped. It really did. So, and what's your thought on it?
I'm thinking that one's looking legit.
I can't debunk it. That's for sure. I don't know of a way to debunk it without making more mess of the in between strides, and making more of a sign in between each stride. Yeah,
Plus,
Bristol, that's exactly what I was thinking. So yeah, that's
the
fact that they're straight would make me think the only thing that could do it would be a bear, and a bear would have belly scratches essentially going up. Now let's see. Saw one heel drag. I'll have to. Where'd you see that one at? I got to look here. Probably right in this area right here is where you're talking about, Gary. This looks like something patting and then pushing out right there. So, but still, my God, that's just, that stride is just. Oh, the first video. Okay, I'm going back to the first video then.
Oh,
see if we can see where you're talking
crazy, but these are 6-foot strides, right and left foot, and they go all the way.
I'm assuming he's talking about right there.
Next to him.
Is that what you're talking about, Gary? Right in this area here?
Footprints next to him.
Get back here.
Here's my foot.
Dadgummit. Get it further back. There we go. In this area right here, Gary, is what you're talking about? John, it could have been something running. I mean, but whatever it is, it kicks stuff behind it. I know that. Yeah, Roger, you would think it would be a bear. If it could be a bear, they should be hibernating at this time. So, okay, so he says keep going.
And left foot, and they go all the way. Here's my footprints next to him. There's my footprints. This ain't elk.
Right there. That longer one, probably. See if I can get it to where we can look at that one real quick. That's the longest one I saw, I thought. They all look basically the same to me. Right there. Did you see that little bit? That one he just passed over?
Elk.
Get past that one. Right there. I'm guessing that's the one he's talking about. Yeah, that one right there. That longer one out of all of them. But yeah, and I could see where that could be a heel scuff going into it. But either way, I mean, it's still, we're talking about massive strides. And I mean massive strides, you know. Which the way it's kicked behind there, it's a perfect match for everything that everybody in the Bigfoot community says, that when they plant with that mid-tarsal break, they kick stuff behind them, which they should. So, you think that was a bear heel? Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know if I could call that any kind of bear with those kind of strides, though. Strides on a bear would be a lot shorter than that, I would have thought. But that's just me. Either that or that's the biggest dadgum bear in Washington State.
Yeah.
Oh, no bear. Okay, never mind.
No bear.
Yeah, he said barefoot. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Like a
I saw
humanoid
bear
foot.
and I immediately
Yeah.
he said bear BARE and I immediately went into freaking Daniel Boone, thing. So anyway, or Davy Crockett. So, but I'm good with this one. This one looks to me to be a good catch.
I'm feeling good about this one.
Yeah, I am too. So, all right. So, well, guess what? We made it to an hour.
Oh wow!
Do you believe that crap?
Already?
I made it to an hour. We made it to an hour without completely collapsing. Imagine that. Did you have fun, guys?
We got some good footage there actually today.
Yeah, and we didn't get to talk about wrestling at all. What the heck?
Yeah, some of them were real noodle twisters.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some of them we've seen before. This one, like I said, that last one I found out on Facebook by accident, and when I was looking through stuff, and I kept it. I kept it saved because I knew I would end up coming back to it sooner or later. Because that's one of those things, like, when you go play golf, it's always that last hole playing golf that makes you come back the next time. You know what I mean? That's what makes you go out looking for the stuff. Is that right there? So, wrestling time. Nemo, you want wrestling now?
Okay, Randy, here's a question I was thinking of earlier today.
Okay.
Earlier I was wondering who is the funniest wrestler of all time in your opinion? And I was thinking about this. I was thinking real hard. I was like, you know what? I think for me, the funniest wrestler of all time, ironically, it's got to be Kurt Angle.
He's funny, yes, but he knows reason he's funny because he embraces what the fans gave him in the first place.
Yeah,
because they were giving him the stuff to work with, and he took it and ran with it, which makes him a brilliant man.
His comedy,
he knew how to get himself over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by a long shot for that time frame. Now,
yeah, I think he might be. I don't know. What do you think? The best comedy wrestler there is, Kurt Angle?
Well, no, because I can't call his wrestling comedy.
Yeah, not saying that. I'm not going to say that his wrestling is comedy because his wrestling is the real deal.
Yeah,
but in terms of like the most comedic, yeah, I think he might be like the most comedic wrestler of all time.
You're already forgetting about Santino Marella. So
true,
you've got him.
There's Santino,
and I'd be going back to kind of the old school, and this is really old school for some of you guys. Superstar Billy Graham. Everybody talks about the way he was toward the end of his life and the end of his career. He had the shaved head, the goatee and stuff, the pre-curve, kind of the Hulk Hogan look almost.
Yeah.
Well, before that, he had the blonde locks. He had the big biceps and everything, but he traveled the territories. And his thing was, don't touch the face, Jack. Everybody was Jack. All of the instructors were Jack, or interviewers were Jack. Hey, don't touch the face, Jack. He'd be in the ring yelling at his opponent. Hey, don't touch the face, Jack. Like that. And he would get people rolling. I saw an interview with him in, I believe it was 75. It may have been 74 from that time frame. And he had to turn away from the camera because he tickled himself too much. He started to laugh at his own shtick, but it was funny to watch. Now, if you talk about actual funny wrestlers, Bugsy McGraw goes right to the top. Old Bugsy McGraw, go watch a couple of his stuff. It was hilarious between him and Buzz Sawyer, but Buzz Sawyer was just a you know what? I won't say.
Man, I wish we could pull up old wrestling videos and just watch them.
Sometimes you can. It just depends on who's sharing it and all that other jazz. So.
Every time we try to do wrestling videos on my show together, YouTube always takes it down. It's real annoying.
Well, that's because you're grabbing WWE stuff. So,
well,
they own a lot of stuff.
Last video that got taken down was when we were reviewing the Iron Claw movie, and I was showing old clips of the Von Erichs back in the Territory days, and that got taken down. I was like, what?
Well, yeah, because WWE owns it. That's why.
I thought it would be public domain because it was so far back, but
nope. They own everything. World Class Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
They own everything. In fact, if you go on Peacock now into the WWE archives things, they've still got old WCCW shows on there. So
that explains it.
Yep. So, I mean, it's tough.
Animal
I mean,
Bears like
because
Buddy Rogers versus Ric Flair.
yeah. Well, I mean, did they ever actually wrestle each other? Because that Buddy Rogers, obviously the original Nature Boy, and Ric Flair gave Nature Boy his name or its meaning, really. So, I mean, I know what was it? There used to be a gentleman from Australia, or was it New Zealand? I can't remember which one. His name was Exotic Adrian Street. Now, if you want to go find some videos on him, you talk about a guy that was flamboyant, and I know in your realm it was been WWF, WWE time frame when adorable Adrian Adonis was going. Okay, back in the 80s.
Yeah,
this guy was before that, and I mean he was as flamboyant as they come, but he was a legit judo master. He was a legit fighter, and people in the real world, of course, you know, everybody. Somebody gonna get beer in him. They think they can take on a wrestler. Just ask everybody that's ever tried to fight Haku.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to do it with this dude. He would legit choke somebody out or cripple them if they didn't stop him sometimes. So, yeah, you got some out there that are maybe not so funny, but, you know, as far as a comedy act, it could do a promo to get you laughing. Yeah, Kurt Angle's one of the best. People talk about Stone Cold, but Stone Cold's promos aren't as funny. The Rock's in his heyday were kind of funny, especially when he started going back and forth with Mick Foley. That used to be good. But nowadays, yeah, Cody with a lisp. You've got probably the best promo out there right now, CM Punk. Just plain and simple.
Goldust with Tourette's was pretty damn funny.
Yeah, no, that was funny. That was funny, yeah.
That was pretty damn funny.
But Goldust,
yeah. Cool.
Goldust got the personality side of the deal, whereas
oh my god,
Cody got the more working.
You saw him on Howard Stern, right? You saw him when he went on Howard Stern with the Tourette's, Goldust.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It was
absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, that's where I'm saying he could have done that. Freaking Cody can't do that. He doesn't have that charisma, I guess you might say. He can be intense, don't get me wrong, and he can deliver a promo. But can he take a promo in a direction it wasn't meant to go in the first place and turn it into his own? I don't think he can.
I don't know. How did you like his Stardust stuff? Do you think he could do character work? I think he could do character work.
He can, and I also watched him. He was also on Warehouse 13, the show Warehouse 13, for a couple episodes too. He's not a bad actor. But once again, if you don't have Goldust there to start off with, you don't have Stardust. And look back at those promos during that time with them. Who did most of the talking?
Yeah.
And you know what, Keith? Chris Jericho's still good on the mic. He has a video. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Go out on YouTube or find the shorts or whatever. There's a video of him interacting with a little girl at ringside that she's flipping him off and everything. And he's sitting there cursing her one side down the other and telling her dad, you need to take that kid home and put her to bed. And it was gold. And he's got Big Bill with him. And Big Bill, anybody knows Cass from WWE, he is playing along with it perfectly. He is jumping in where he needs to jump in. And it's absolute gold. How this it's fun to watch sometimes when you sit there and watch wrestlers actually interacting with the crowd and staying in character while doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just funny to watch because Jacob Fatu, there's another one. Him and Solo Sikoa, watched them in interactions with the crowds. It's hilarious. And they ham it up and egg it up. Solo's one of the best. He'll sit there and mess with fans at ringside, you know, just for the fun of it. So there's a lot out there that you could go out and say, hey, these guys are actually real people. They know how to have fun too. So,
yeah.
Crystal. Okay. I'm going to say this right now. I don't want to ever see Gary Spike Sr. in a bikini. Okay. If you meant the girl, we're okay with that. Just as long as Gary's not in it too. But anyway, You got anything other related sports entertainment / pro wrestling related?
Well, do you have any special plans for WrestleMania coming up soon?
I will be doing a watch party. I mean, it's on the 24th or 25th, I think. Yeah, or no, it's 19th or 20th. I think it's on Easter weekend.
You're gonna do a watch party?
I'm gonna sit here and watch it.
Plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna literally sit here, probably in this room right here, and watch it. And I'm hoping that they haven't, because last year's just outdid itself as far as I was concerned. The star power they put behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The first night you got Bubba Ray Dudley coming back. As a special referee in the ladies matches, and then you had, the first night kind of set the stage for the second night real well. So, and when the Undertaker came back at the end of it, you saw everybody and their dog were absolutely crapping themselves because nobody knew that he was there. They snuck him into that. And Keith, White Six will come back. Bo Dallas got hurt, so he's been off. They've been off the screen for a little while after finishing up with Final Testament, and he's been injured. So they're kind of waiting until him to get done. So I wouldn't expect to see him until after WrestleMania at a minimum. But there's another one. They can, as long as they write them right, it'll be good. But because you got great workers in that, you got Eric Rowan. He's a good big man. He's not great, but he's a good big man. You got Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy in there. Those are two working fools right there. They can make anybody look good. Yeah, he had a shoulder injury. And Nikki Cross. Come on now. Nikki Cross is one of the best daggum women wrestlers in the world. She's already proved that
Nikki
long
Cross.
before she came to WWE.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd love to see her get involved, but, with that kind of gimmick, they'll never get her into the actual into the world title picture per se. I don't think they'll ever get her into that. Some of
those people have been screwed over with crappy gimmicks too, so I want to see them do better.
Exactly. And she did actually hold it, but she held it as that almost a superhero one, Nikki Ash. So that's where she did it. I'm like, okay, well, it's okay, but they should have done better with her. I mean, because she's got the chops to do it. She really does. Because she's married to a guy that used to be there. He was in NXT, big hairy guy, Irishman. I can't remember his name. Killian Dane. I think she's married to Killian Dane, actually.
Yeah.
So, but as far as Bo Dallas coming back, I wouldn't expect to see them after that. Now they're on SmackDown. They got drafted over to SmackDown after he got hurt. So we don't have to worry about that. And that's another one they messed up with. We're talking about Final Testament with Karrion Kross. He was Killer Kross to us forever. That's another one they messed up because I'm telling you right now. Yeah, now see, I could see Keith. I could see that.
I remember when they did that. Yeah,
I could see that. I could really see that. But Karrion Kross is the only one left out of that group. They're all gone. Miz was with them kind of, but he wasn't really with them. But Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering are already gone again. They've already been cut. So I think they missed boats with them originally, Authors of Pain. I think they missed the boats with them right off the bat because they should have been promoted as the most vicious tag team ever outside of the Road Warriors type thing, especially if you got Paul Ellering doing their talking. Don't associate them with nobody. They don't align with anybody. They're APA / Road Warriors rolled into one. So I think
Randy,
it's a misvote.
Let me ask you, in your opinion, personal opinion, be as biased as you want. Who is your personal favorite female pro wrestler
right now,
or of all time?
Oh, of all time? Oh, good Lord! I want to see Queen of the Ring because I've seen videos of Mildred Burke from back in the day, but that was a different style wrestling, obviously back then. But as far as right now, my favorite of all time that I'd have to say would be Mae Young. You know why? Because who in their right mind at 85 or 90 years old is letting Bubba Ray Dudley put them to a table? But she told him, "Don't you go easy on me." She told him to do it. That woman would do anything for that industry. So honestly, there's very few that could hold up to her as far as toughness goes by a long shot. And all the stories that Pat Patterson used to tell about, because he used to have to drive her around, and she smoked cigars like they were cigarettes. And he said they stink, and she'd be sitting in the back seat going, "You like that?" And just anything to mess with people, And I like it. I love it
Young
because
would do that.
yeah, she smoked cigars,
Mm.
and she was just one of those. You're just like, man, she is just fun to watch. I mean, come on, they put her with Mark Henry, and without her with Mark Henry, I don't think he ever gets over in WWE ever. But that whole bit with him and her got him over as a good character guy now. And then later on, he could actually push the badass part of it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would have to say between probably Mae Young. Now, if you're talking about right now, that's tough. Because I can tell you right now, the best women's division in the world right now is on NXT. Period, no bar none. Because between Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia got hurt. That's why she dropped the title. She got to take some time off, get her stuff squared away. But you've got a litany. You've got that girl Zarya or whatever from Australia. She's teaming with Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka is one of the most gifted athletes in the world, but I don't think she can talk on a mic.
Keith
that
is
is
asking,
one of the.
I see possibly Jacob Fatu turning good guy. Opinions?
That is a possibility. Now, I would say the only reason that happens is because the crowd is going to turn, because the crowd loves him. You listen to when he does his spots, the crowds love him. And having him work with Braun Strowman, who is a very underrated big guy. He actually is a good worker for such a big guy. But them two together,
I think he's underrated
together,
also.
yeah. Watch every one of their battles. They go at it. I mean, and it's not like they don't pull punches. I know they're not really, trying to hurt each other. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, and there's one up there, Nemo. Did Buddy Rogers give Nature Boy the name to Ric Flair? I don't know that he ever physically gave it to him, but he did acknowledge it later on in life. So, hey, Smoky Mountain, how you doing? So, but yeah, and now Fatu, though, on the other hand, turning good guy, I think the crowd's going to make it happen sooner than later. I think what's going to happen is the way like he's talking, they're kind of setting the seeds for it with Tama Tonga and Solo trying to talk to him, and he's finally telling him, hey, I'll do it on my own type thing. And if they get the U.S. title on him, I think, I hope that doesn't happen, Keith. I hope that he actually gets the title, because he needs to push it, because they missed the boat with LA Knight too. They really missed the boat with LA Knight.
Yeah, but
as
Jacob
far as I'm
too,
concerned,
he's locked in because he's part of that. He's part of the bloodline, or they can incorporate him into the bloodline.
I mean, because Fatu and Solo, they're actually related.
Yeah,
of course, Tama is Haku's son, and so's Tongaloa, who was Camacho at one time in the WWE, and after that, I mean, you've got Hikuleo, who is signed but hasn't come in. You talk about I'm telling you what they do is do a bloodline versus bloodline. Then you got the Anoa'i family over here and Fatu's, and then you take Haku's boys. Let's see what happens then, and have Haku come back and manage them, like Mr. Fuji did for Yokozuna. That would be, I'd be off the chain. Anytime I could see Haku out on TV, I'd be happy. Because quite frankly, he was probably the most underrated worker ever to me. Between him and John Tenda.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he could do anything. He just couldn't talk. He could partially talk, but he couldn't really talk. But in a manager role with them, I think he could overcome that and do enough to piss off the other bloodline. You know what I mean? Now, Keith, Jacob, if Jacob Fatu loses that match due to Solo or Tama interfering, you can bet your butt that's going to be the face turn. He's going to destroy them. And when he does, that'll be the end of that bloodline faction, period. And you're just going to have Roman and the Usos back alone, and that's going to be it. Because quite frankly, after what I watched on Saturday or Friday night, and now they're saying that one of the nights, I don't know if it's the first one or the second one, but that three-way with that triple threat with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and what's that?
Yeah,
and Roman Reigns.
What did you think of that segment on SmackDown?
I didn't mind it. I mean, it was okay. Yeah. It got what it needed to get done, but it sure as heck makes you think about what is Paul Heyman actually doing? Is Paul Heyman setting Roman up now? Because you know he's always been a CM Punk guy. Yeah. Or is he going to do the same thing he did to Brock Lesnar when he, went with Roman and cost Brock Lesnar the title? Tough to say either way. I mean, but neither here nor there. Roman Reigns has Paul Heyman because Roman Reigns can only cut very straight line promos. He's got to be guided. You know what I mean? Heyman could go all over the place. CM Punk can go all over the place. He's like what Stone Cold used to be. You couldn't script Stone Cold because he would just go off tangent, So, and The Rock was the same way as well. That's what they're missing in a lot of the promos now, to me. But I
think they're letting some of the guys go. Like, as long as they trust the perform, if they trust the guy.
Yeah, you got to trust them. You got to trust them. Yeah, and they don't have Stephanie up there writing it out for them anymore like they used to. That's what one of the things I heard on one of Stone Cold's little podcasts back when he first started it was that they come up to him with a script to read to learn, and he's like, "Are you effing kidding?" and would chunk it and then just go off script on her. But every time he did, you could see she get kickled at it every time. She would break character in ring every single time when he had to do it to her. So,
well, it was gold, man.
Yeah.
Some of the back and forth between he and Stephanie, that was some of the best stuff in the Attitude Era.
Oh, yeah.
And there was so much goodness in the Attitude Era, man.
Yep, there was. I mean, and there's good stuff now, but like I said, I mean, me and Brian Alvarez, we didn't agree together on that night we were on that show with him, I don't agree that the Young Bucks are a spot fest to me. I liked them better when they turned heel and tried to be the heel EVPs,
Yeah.
But there's still.
I thought it was an interesting point he raised though when he was like, they're just like the modern version
Rock
of
and Roll
Express, and I was thinking
Rock and Roll
Express.
Yeah,
and I was thinking about,
and
it.
he's
I was
right.
Like, yeah, they kind of are. Yeah,
he's 100% right. And the thing was though, with the Rock and Roll Express, you always had Robert Gibson as that babyface in Doom, in peril. You had the face in peril during all. That was a standard formula for all their tag matches. Babyface in peril, face in peril. He get the hot tag to Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton goes wild. They end it with a double drop kick. Today, a double drop kick wouldn't get a one count. So,
right.
But yeah, he was right.
That was their finisher, double drop kick.
That was their finisher, was a double drop kick.
Wow.
Now you got the Usos doing double super kicks, and they can't pin nobody with it, so they have to do a version of the 3D.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is, and hey, Smoky Mountain. I mean, I heard
Finishers
Baron Von Raschke was actually a very smart man.
Finishers are no longer sacred nowadays.
No, they aren't. I mean, people are getting up from DDTs. I imagine that just turns my stomach to see all that stuff Jake did to make the DDT that worthy, and people just get up from it now. But it is what it is. I mean, like I said, somebody, Kenny Omega and what's his name, Will Ospreay, and those guys like that to do those high impact, and Okada and Takeshita, when they're doing those, I don't want to call them spot fits because they're legit moves. Don't get me wrong, but they look like one mistake, and you're really going to seriously hurt somebody. Yeah, your dog's like spread eagle on your couch back there.
Yeah, he's cute. He's funny like that.
All right. Well, we went to 125. We talked a little bit. You got anything up more wrestling related for me before I decide to get us out of here?
Like serious frog legs on Donnie's couch.
Yep. That's what made me look. I was like, oh, that's a dog.
He's like,
what?
Looking back at me. He's like,
what?
He's posing.
Is it time to go out? Is it time to go out? He's wagging his tail. He wants to go out. Look, here he comes now. You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Show him off. Got to show him off before it's all over with.
Come on, Toby. Come here. Come here, Toby.
What do you do? Run away? There he goes. No, he ain't letting you get him, is he?
Toby, come here. Toby, come here. There he is. Hey,
there
guys.
we go. He acted like he didn't want to get up there, did he?
Yeah, he's weird. He's jumpy.
Roman Reigns is hot. Kimber, stop looking. Stop looking. You need help. You need help. Go back look at Kerry Von Erich some more. It'd be all right.
Roman Reigns is a beautiful man. You cannot deny.
I deny it because any man's not beautiful to me.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll do it for us for tonight. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. We did a little talking on the wrestling side there at the end, and we'll do that maybe every so often. Throw a little bit of wrestling in on the backside, depending on what's going on. And I'll probably do a night after WrestleMania show one day, just to after it's over with, and we'll do it like that.
Yeah, we should do a review episode after it's done.
Yeah, I would love to because it'll be like I said, Peacock Plus. Get it and you watch it. It's all good. So, all right, guys, y'all have fun. We will see y'all next time. Bye.